So I'm going to start with Fred Korematsu Speaks Up. And I've known about this book for a while, but I just read it recently. And part of the reason why I sort of didn't read it more quickly was the cover. And I mean, the cover really doesn't do this book justice with the sort of the cartoon animation. Look, I thought it was a graphic novel, which I actually love graphic novels, but I didn't realize what a fantastic book this was. It starts off. It's sort of written in like it's almost like nonfiction free verse, in that it looks like free verse and it is free verse, but it reads more as kind of straightforward prose than sort of poetic poetry. Um, but each chapter tells Fred Korematsu's story. Like in this chapter, it talks about him going to the barber for the first time to get a haircut, like kind of a cool haircut. But the barbers and even the restaurants in his area, which is Oakland, California, refuse to serve someone who's Asian American. Um, and then there's actually these really great sort of spreads that give full context to the period and background of what Fred Korematsu went through. So you have sort of these alternating chapters of story and then background, and some, sort of really interesting points. My takeaway for this book is that basically, if you read all the details of this book, you sort of realize there's a single person can really make a difference. And in this case, Fred Korematsu, for standing up against Japanese internment just for being Japanese American, fought a fight in kind of complete isolation from his peers and his fellow Japanese Americans, and really wasn't exonerated for more than 40 years. So that's sort of the story of an ordinary person being a civil rights hero. But then on the flip side, there's also this interesting backstory of how U.S. government attorneys, lied during his trial, and that also came to light, years and years later, and that sort of was the reason why his case was reopened and he was exonerated. But it was just a single person, a single attorney, for the most part, who hid evidence that Japanese Americans, were not spies, and in fact gave the opposite report, even though the FBI research showed the opposite. And so anyway, I also want to highlight that Fred Korematsu has his own day, January 30th, and